This is the Orioles POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Saturday morning to all of you out on the East Coast, approaching 1:30 on the Baltimore Orioles POSTCAST. My name is Luke Slabaugh. I want to thank you for tuning in live on YouTube and on demand wherever you get your podcasts for free. Final score Friday night, creeping into Saturday morning. The San Francisco Giants 15 and the Baltimore Orioles 8. It's the first O's After Dark episode we have had since early June. The O's were trying to get out of the aftermath of Brandon Hyde's firing in mid-May and trying to string together some wins out on the West Coast back then. And after tonight, it appears the tank is back on. A hit parade at the hands of the red-hot San Francisco Giants. San Fran just one game under 500 after tonight's win. 18 total hits in a night where everyone in the starting lineup got a base hit. Go ahead, like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, watching for the first time. If you're a big baseball junkie, we got O's content every day. Connor Newcomb Monday through Friday. I fill in the gaps post-game and on the weekends. We're going to get in and out of here in a tight 15. A homecoming for Stockton, California's own Dean Kremer, the right-hander, not putting together a solid outing in which he had no command. There is a saying that trust is gained over a long period of time and lost in an instant. There's also quite a bit of snark going on Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X, about the yes hitter, the antithesis of a no-hitter. And if ever there were an example of one, it was Dean Kremer and company being unable to stop the bleeding.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Appreciate Milo commenting live on YouTube. One day we will be free of the 2025 season. Yes, sir. Every Giant has a hit tonight. Everyone scores. Their 15 runs are a season high. Dino never had command of his four-seam fastball or a split-finger fastball. And so when those two bread-and-butter pitches are not working, it's mass hysteria. Dogs and cats living together. Pandemonium. And on the mound, pretty bad. Have a lot of comments on the Apple TV Plus broadcast. I'll get in the start of the second block. But the Giants are surging. They just swept the Cubs. They've now won 6 in a row. And the Orioles put Dean in a great position. Jackson Holliday walks leading off against Robbie Ray. He's having his own struggles, the left-hander. Holliday swipes a bag. Mountcastle drives him in, a crisp double down the right field line. And you're thinking, man, things are going great. All Dean's got to do is get a shutdown. It's gone.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
We picked this up bottom of the first. Jung-Hoon Lee walking on a 7-pitch at-bat. Willie Adames down in the count 0-2, gets a hanging split-finger fastball. He pokes through the left side. And Rafael Devers walking, a full count splitter, missing low and away. So the two main pitches that Dean Kremer needs to get outs in weak contact doesn't happen. The bases are loaded, 17 pitches, and nobody out. Cue Matt Chapman. 0-1 count, two-seam fastball, hits it on the infield to Gunnar Henderson. He has no throw. Game is tied at 1. 19 pitches, still nobody out. Dominic Smith behind in the count 1-2, gets a four-seam fastball, powers it to center field. Colton Cowser corrals it. It's a sac fly to put the Giants up 2-1, a lead that they would never surrender. So 25 pitches, and Dean Kremer is starting to get some traction. Casey Schmidt then singles to right field with two-seamer on the outer half. Finally, pitching coach Drew French sees fit to come out to the mound and talk it over with Dino. 31 pitches in, and then Luis Matos, a 2-1 cutter at the knees, hits it to left field for a 2-run single, 4-1. All 9 hitters come up to the plate in the bottom of the first. 39 pitches for Dean Kremer. Talk about getting behind the 8 ball. That's getting behind the pool hall in general. By that point, Corbin Martin is already up in the bullpen, right-hander warming up in a potential doomsday scenario. And the hits keep on coming. Lee singling to left field on a four-seam fastball clocking at 91. Not even the best stuff or velocity that we've seen from Dean Kremer. Adames singles, fastball belt high. Rafael Devers then sees a 1-2 splitter at the shins, and he knows Dean pretty well from his time with the Red Sox, Devers being that June acquisition to the Bay. And he gets a splitter at the shins, hits it to right. The Giants are up 5-1. Chapman adds a sac fly, and that's all Dean would give up. Bottom three, Ryan Mountcastle and company have given you more of a run support. It's a 6-4 game at this time. With 2 outs, you got a runner in scoring position at second base. And Gilbert, a 2-1 curveball hanging. Talking about a 9-hole hitter here, Drew Gilbert, former first-round pick of the Houston Astros. Gets a 2-1 curveball hanging, bangs it off the right field wall to get the Giants back on top by 3, 7-4. Corbin Martin comes in the fourth and does no better. Gives up the first home run of the game to Dominic Smith, 1-1 slider, going right into the lefty swing path, a 92-mile-an-hour breaking ball that ends up in McCovey Cove. Made it a 9-4 ball game. And get this, the Giants score in every inning except the 6th. Yennier Cano, the only one who can stop the bleeding, the only good relief outing of note in an otherwise sour season for him. Coming up, we'll talk about Ryan Mountcastle's night, 3 for 5 with 4 RBIs. Not that there was a whole lot to highlight from this one. When you lose by 7 runs and you give up 15 on the road, you flush this one and move on. And one of the more sloppy innings defensively we've seen, a team that has struggled with the fundamentals and smart baseball. This one's pretty rough. 1:30 on the East Coast. This is the Orioles postcast. Stick with us. Shout out to our friends at Upside. If you're still paying full price for gas, I'm on the road in 4 hours. And I'm using Upside. You can get cash back every time you fill up with Upside. Download the free app, Upside, UPSIDE, App Store, Google Play. Start earning cash at the pump. Use the limited time promo code SEASON and get an extra 25 cents back per gallon on your first fill up. You could make up to $300 a year just from buying the gas you already needed. It's totally legit. It's not one of those too good to be true racketeering scams. Everything is racketeering in this country if you look at it through the right lens, but not this, not Upside. Real people getting paid just to make their daily commutes. You can too. Plus, you can cash out anytime to your bank account, PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Don't let this offer drive on by. Download the free Upside app now using the limited time promo code SEASON for a limited time 25-cent per gallon bonus. That's promo code SEASON. Disclaimer: offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions. Monarch Money, back again. Back for more. Most people can't name all their financial accounts, if they even got any. 401ks, properties, investments. Adulting is hard. And if you don't have the full picture, if you don't know what 401k is, man, get Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or phone. Monarch says it's built for people with busy lives, like you and me. If you put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. It does all the heavy lifting, linking all your accounts in minutes. Get clear data visuals and smart categorization of your spending. And finally, you can feel in control of your money. For me, it was paring down on all the subscriptions, all the Adobe Creative Cloud nonsense. You notice how all these software companies, they used to sell you the product as a service. They gave you a CD-ROM back in the day. And now they want your subscription for life. For life. Not while I'm around. Not while Monarch Money is around. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. Stick it to the man. It's Monarch Money. The West Main, who might be a hater, might be an Army Black Knight. Great game tonight, guys. Says you nailed the Jimmy Neutron aesthetic. I don't is incorrect. I once had a colleague of mine at WBIR TV in Knoxville, Brittany Bay, doesn't go by that name anymore, that said that I looked like Syndrome from The Incredibles. And I own it. I own it. That Apple TV broadcast tonight left a lot to be desired. Uh, Look, for a couple of reasons. For one, buttering up uh, Tony Mansolino, I suppose, kind of waxing poetic about a 44 and 46 term as interim manager, and talking about, oh, it's totally legitimate that he should be in the running for this position. I get the people like him, and I guess you got to work that storyline in some way. But it's one thing to butter up your subjects and try to make this game interesting. It's another to just kind of go off, kind of off the path. Another thing about Samuel Basayo, the bit they did about him getting his contract, and oh, it's led to a lot of speculation that the O's might trade Adley Rutschman. According to whom? Speculation from whom? Like a bunch of riffraff jibber jabbering online. People like you and me. Just because I say something, or because a podcast host with their own show says something about Adley Rutschman in a trade, doesn't give it any wheels. Doesn't give it any momentum. That's just unprofessional. Robbie Ray, a former Cy Young winner with the Blue Jays, once got into a verbal shouting match with Brandon Hyde in 2021. Amazing. Struggled with his command, leads the National League in walks, and from the jump was also struggling with fastball command. And the home plate umpire was pretty generous, Brian Walsh, given that inside strike call early on right-handed hitters. But Ray was just off. And Jackson Holiday leads off with a 4-pitch walk, which was great. It was an auspicious start to get a run on the board there on the road. Holiday also swiping a bag, and Mountcastle doubling him in. We talked about that in the first block. So being able to get through that first frame was great. We'll go to the third, where the O's put up 3 runs. And a lot made of this. A 1 out starts out with Alex Jackson walking on 4 pitches, excuse me. A 9-pitch at bat by Holiday, he flies out. Jeremiah Jackson walks, so you got 2 runners on, 19 pitches in the inning. And Robbie Ray in the top of the third at 58. Gunnar Henderson was sitting off speed breaking ball, and he flies out on the first pitch. You saw him flip his bat, kind of incensed that he couldn't get that ball on a line. He was just under it a little bit. I understand that. In terms of a rally, when you're already trailing at this point 6-1, the first pitch swinging is objectively not the call. But Ryan Mountcastle extends his great day. 2-1 count, gets a changeup inside, ropes a double to left field, makes it a 6-2 ball game. And Jeremiah Jackson, confusingly by Buck Burton, held at third base. That would have really grinded my gears had he not scored. But Emmanuel Rivera, 2-2 count, gets a 4-seam fastball elevated, pokes it into left to make it a 6-4 ball game. Ryan Mountcastle actually overrunning the plate, had to go back and tap it. And then Colton Cowser, again, against a guy who's struggling with command and a guy who was super vulnerable, flies out on the first pitch. He's late on a 95-mile-an-hour heater. 3 of the O's first 4 runs come on walks. And you've got Robbie Ray at 70 pitches through 3 innings. Walks kill. And in this war of attrition, it was Dean Kremer having a bad night and Robbie Ray trying to get through a doozy. And ultimately, evil wins, but you know what it is. Top of the 5th, 1 out, Jeremiah Jackson getting an infield single, deflected off of Ray. Adames can't do anything with it. Gunnar with a great heads-up play, great base running, singles to left field, advances to second base when the relay throw is cut off by Adames halfway to third base. He rounds first really aggressively, and Mountcastle again, single up the middle, 4-seam fastball out over the plate for 2 more runs to score and make it a 9-6 ball game. O's aren't really in it at that point. Their win probability is way down, but they bounce Robbie Ray after 4 1/3. Right-hander Spencer Bivens is in, and the first pitch, Emmanuel Rivera, 2-seam fastball inside. He just jams it inside, outs it to right, and Colton Cowser flies out to end the inning. So it's pretty lackluster. They had a chance. I mean, you're in the business of getting base runners. Kobe Mayo gets a hanging splitter in the top of the 8th, hits his 6th home run of the year, make it 14-7. Right-hander Keaton Winn on 6 2-out RBIs on the road. If you had told me that going into tonight, that the O's would get 6 runs driven in with 2 outs and ultimately finish the game with a 4 for 10 average with runners in scoring position, I would say you were in great business. Then pitching let him down. What also let him down was a super, super sloppy 7th inning. And again, 8 runs wasn't going to win this game anyway, given the hole that Dean Kremer put you in, giving up 7 runs. But 3 errors behind left-hander Grant Wolfram was rough. You started with the fielder's choice off the bat of Drew Gilbert. Patrick Bailey had singled in a fielder's choice ground ball to Jackson Holliday. He boots it, increasingly getting more frustrated with his play at second base. And then gets Jung Hoon Lee to strike out looking. So you got 2 outs in the inning. Willie Adames singles to left field. Fastball at 94 on the outside makes it an 11-6 ball game. And this is when things kind of spiral. Rafael Devers behind in the count, 0-2, 2-seam fastball, singles to left field. Dylan Beavers doesn't have a pretty good shot at home plate, but he throws, I believe, in the direction of Alex Jackson, completely misses the cutoff man. Alex Jackson has to corral this like he's backed up behind the plate in foul territory. And Willie Adames is able to score on that play. Gilbert already scoring easily, but since no one is covering home plate, Jackson trying to backpick Devers or get out the runner at second base. Adames is able to slide into home plate untouched. 2-run score on play on a throwing error by Dylan Beavers to make it 13-4. Then Emmanuel Rivera with a throwing error on a routine ground ball by Matt Chapman. It just kind of spiraled from there. And there's a lot we could go into, but this was the sloppiest night in a while. Jeff Molnar comments, I think what we should all be worried about. Hopefully Dean Kremer isn't getting a dead arm. He's definitely, one of the 3 guys who's been on the roster all year that hasn't gotten hurt. Him, Sagano, and Jackson Holliday. And Daniel Barry saying, hey, everyone, happy Friday. I want to say happy Friday to you all. Going to be a very busy 24 hours for me, less than that. Probably busy 15, 16 hours. Games on Big Fox tomorrow. Trevor Rogers against a starter TBD for San Francisco. Rogers is the best pitcher in baseball. 7-2 with a 1.40 ERA. 7 innings against the Astros on Sunday. 7:15 Eastern time, first pitch on Big Fox. Everything behind me tomorrow will look different. This background will not exist if you're watching on YouTube. If you're not, subscribe to the YouTube. What are you doing? Final score tonight. A lot too little. Giants 15, the Orioles 8. Woo. Good night. Stay safe. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night.